In Washington, D.C., the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom held a hearing today discussing Nicaragua and the deterioration of religious freedom in the country. According to USCIRF, freedom of religion or belief has been severely restricted since 2008 in Nicaragua under the Ortega regime. Catholics, in particular, have been targeted in the majority Catholic country, with Catholic laypeople and clergy being arrested, imprisoned, and exiled, as in the case of Bishop Rolando Alvarez, who is now living in exile in Rome. And here to talk with us more about the situation for the faithful in Nicaragua and today's hearing is Jason Poblete, president of the Global Liberty Alliance. Jason, always good to be with you. A lot to get to, but first, your big takeaway from today's hearing, and what do you hope will come from it?
Tracy, thank you for having us as always and for highlighting what's happening in Nicaragua and other Central American countries and Latin American countries. You're right. I saw most of the hearing today, and I had hoped that we would focus, like you said, a lot more on the Catholics. It's a Catholic majority country. I didn't hear a lot of that. And in fact, some of the folks who were talking, they argued on behalf of the Catholic Church, were not really there speaking on behalf of Catholics. I've heard from bishops, religious activists in Nicaragua that wish more of the plight of the Catholic Church would have been talked about. And one other point, again, it's always good to highlight these cases, but remember, what's happening in Nicaragua is not a recent phenomenon. This has been happening since 1979. This is not a recent 2018 issue. The Sandinistas, the socialists, Ortega's gone tomorrow, same problem. They have been trying to eliminate the Catholic Church from the public square. I didn't hear that today. I wish they had talked about it. In fact, one of the commissioners of the commissioner's staff had to raise the issue of the missionaries of charity that have been expelled from Nicaragua. Again, we need to focus a little more on what's happening within the Catholic Church. And my hope, Tracy, is that the Holy See will reconsider their decision to withdraw the priests and bishops from Nicaragua and send them back. That has to be point number one, because if we don't put that marker out there, I'm very concerned what Ortega will do. And it's not just Ortega. It's Ortega, the Sandinistas, the MRS, which is socialist light, just as bad as them. And they're doing this with the help of Cuba, with China, with the Russians. There's a lot happening that, again, I hope USCIRF will go back and look at this again, invite some of the Catholic organizers that are actually documenting the abuses so they can show them that this is not something isolated. It's pretty intense, and it's still happening, and it's not going to stop unless we take a stand. And the final point to the 350,000 or so Nicaraguan Americans out there, get out there and tell the State Department, tell your member of Congress, EWTN, you were there yesterday at the State Department asking questions. They didn't even know about the hearing. So that has to change, and we need the State Department to do a lot more than they are doing on the question of religious freedom in Nicaragua.
Yeah, definitely, Jason. You and I have talked about this many times before, but if someone's just tuning in and watching this right now wondering, why is the Ortega regime specifically targeting the church? What would you say?
Institutionally, the Catholic Church stands as I would say, they're in the unenviable position of having to be the only institution inside of Nicaragua that can challenge the atheistic, I think demonic, and I'm not saying that to be flippant, Ortega's wife claims to be a witch, and they do certain things that the Catholic Church understands. We can challenge them head on with prayer, peacefully, and that's why they targeted our priests, our bishops, our religious. Again, I wish the Holy See, if you've never followed Nicaragua, understand this has been happening since 1979. This is not new. I hope the Holy See reconsiders their position and sends our people back.
Well, Jason, thank you for coming on and talking to us about this. We really appreciate it. It's so important to stay on top of it. God bless.
Thank you for having us. God bless.